I just want to call and introduce my colleague Melissa Sanderson, Associate Professor of Dance, who then will introduce performers and say a few words about their creative process. They've been working with the theme of our conference, what is it? Climate Science, Climate Justice, Personal and Civic Action, and have a production for us. Thank you, Melissa. Nice to meet you in person.
Nice to meet you. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Welcome. My name is Melissa Sanderson, and I teach in the dance department here at ACC. I'm teaching the choreography class this semester, and our class culminates in a performance, the Choreographer Showcase. It's happening early May if you'd like to come. But the students, in order to work towards that, they participate in choreographic studies where each study they're focusing on a different topic or choreographic device, dance concept, and they create a small piece of choreography. And so in one of these studies, we focused on narrative in dance, which sometimes could be a linear story, but not always. Narrative in dance could also be in relation to a concept or a theme. So when I learned that we would be participating in this event, I assigned a choreographic study prompt for them to connect to narrative in relation to climate justice or whatever they were interested in that topic. So I have 3 students showing work today. The first one is Elisabeth, and her piece is called Restricted. So she was interested in this idea of feeling like her generation is too young to step forward, too naive, not capable enough to step forward and take action in something that's very needed here, connecting to climate change. And I'd like to read something that she wrote about her piece. So she wrote, "What inspired my piece is that the young generation is stepping up to each challenge, to take every punch thrown at them, and they do their best to make of the situation. I see how much fight is in our eyes, and I see hope for a better future." So she titled her piece Restricted because she feels restricted in what is told as her ability to step forward. And she connected that to dance in restricting different parts of her body. So for instance, she restricted movement in her arms or other body parts while the rest of the body is doing more movement. And in her piece, she's using task-based improvisation, which, similar to jazz music, is a structure or a way of moving freely within a set of rules. So you can look for that when you're watching Elisabeth's piece. And then the second student is Hilleary, and her piece is called Running from Drought. And Hilleary loves rain, and she was inspired by the music she selected for her piece here. And she was interested in this human experience of just enjoying rain and wanting rain when we haven't had it. And then the last piece is Toni, and that piece is called Too Late. And in Toni's piece, she was looking at grief and mourning of what our planet used to be and acceptance of where it's at now. And so I think that's all I have to say. Thank you so much.
speechless. You colleagues in the arts, you nourish our soul with your work and give life to the themes that we have. Thank you. Next, I'd like to ask my colleague, Dr. Heather Barfield, Adjunct Professor of Drama, to share some information about the playwright whose work her students will be performing to help contextualize. She'll contextualize the scene and also introduce the student performers. Thank you.
Hi. So I'm Heather Barfield, and we have two performers doing two pieces. One piece is both of them, and the other one is a solo piece. And these are, one of them is from a play by Chantal Bilodeau. She is a Montreal-born, New York-based playwright and translator whose work focuses on the intersection of storytelling and the climate crisis. And she's the founding artistic director of the Arts and Climate Initiative, where she has spearheaded initiatives for over a decade, getting theater and educational communities as well as audiences in the US and abroad to engage in climate action through programming that includes live events, talks, publications, workshops, national and international convenings, and a worldwide distributed theater festival. And we're actually trying to maybe get Chantal to come to Austin with some new plays in the fall. So we'll see if that actually works out. So there's a lot of action in theater right now around climate justice and climate change. And so I would encourage everybody to kind of look at the Arts and Climate Initiative. This is a growing movement, not just with scientists and people, but also artists have been responding to this for quite some time now, and I often find the theater's on the fringe of some of these changes in the world. So the first piece that you're going to see is an excerpt from her play Sila, which takes place in the Canadian Arctic, and this is part of her Arctic Cycle play series, in which she's writing a play that takes place within each country that borders along the Arctic Circle. This scene is a conversation between two polar bears, so you have to expand your imagination a little bit. And we do this scene with permission from the playwright, and also I would like to give a little bit of context. The play is loosely based on some Inuit myths in conversation also with the colonization that took place in the area and the intersection between human beings, the environment, and those that want to exploit the environment for capitalistic gain and for things like seal hunting and whatnot that is destroying the ecosystem there. So I actually feel obligated a little bit to give a very short land acknowledgement, because there are references in this production to Inuit mythology. So with respect, I'd like to acknowledge that Austin is on the traditional homelands of the Lipan-Apache, Comanche, Tonkawa, and Coatlicán, Humano, and many other indigenous peoples, both recorded and unrecorded. And I wish to honor anyone else who wishes to celebrate the indigenous peoples that have resided, thrived, and taken care of this land here, now, and before us, and pay our respects to elders past and present. So with that acknowledgement and with deep respect, I'd like to present Jade, Faulkner, and Khalia, Sacko, who are both drama students here at ACC. And so here's a scene from Sila, and then after that, it's a scene from Mother, a short poetic prose also written by Chantal Bilodeau. So please enjoy. Thank you so much for being here. So.
But I did good, right, Anana? You were very good.
I stayed low to the ground, just like you said, and I didn't make a sound.
You were silent as a rock.
And I waited, and I waited, and I waited. How long did I wait?
For as long as it takes the goose to travel to its summer ground.
Longer.
For as long as it takes the river to grow into an ocean.
Longer.
For as long as it takes the glacier to crawl down a rocky cliff.
Yes, and then when I saw the bubbles, I pounced.
You're a very good hunter, Pania Pig.
I am a good hunter.
I'm proud of you.
Look, there's Nanajuk, the Nanook who climbed into the sky.
Uh-huh. And do you see the hunters chasing after her?
Yes, 1, 2, 3.
And
the 4th hunter, King Aluk, who went back to grab his mitt.
that's right.
I feel bad for Nanajuk. It must be so lonely climbing across the sky every night.
The only creatures who are lonely are the ones who forget about Sila.
How do you mean, Anana?
All life is breath. From the breath that gave us the miracle of creation to life itself. Sila wraps all around us.
The sky is Sila?
Mm-hmm.
The wind is Sila?
That's right.
The ground? The ice? The ocean?
And Sila moves in and out of our lungs. See? That's Sila. And with each breath, Sila reminds us that we are never alone. Each and every one of us are connected to every living creature. But Sila's gift is not ours to keep. Creatures who are lonely are the ones who hold on to their breath, as if it were theirs, and theirs alone. One day, you will leave me, Pania Pig.
No, I won't.
One day, you will have to go into the world and meet your own destiny.
I won't leave you, Anana.
It won't be sad, and you won't be sad, because Sila will reach across the land and bring us the sweet scent of each other's happiness.
What's that?
Quick, run!
Look at me. Why won't you look at me? You were such a surprise. No one was waiting for you. No one was expecting you. The idea of you hadn't even crossed my mind. You just showed up one day, out of nowhere, a fully formed creature, ready to take the world by storm. I should have seen it coming, of course. I should have realized when you climbed out of the ocean that something was changing, that something was about to happen. But the truth is, it was all random. A little mutation here, a little mutation there, and bam, there you were. With your big head and your big brain, so proud of yourself for standing on your own 2 feet. Such a miracle. Somehow, in the space of a geological flicker, chaos had organized itself into you. Why won't you look at me? Then, one day, when it was time for you to spread your wings and make the world your own, and what a day it was. Drunk on your own power, you heard and saw and tasted. You experienced and learned, invented and discovered, organized and cataloged. It was exhilarating. I watched you grow innocent and carefree, incapable of even imagining that, well, maybe it wouldn't make a difference. We used to gaze into each other's eyes, remember? From dusk till dawn, dawn till dusk. I held you close and we lost each other in each other's mysteries. That was before you started calling me mother. Before there was anything to call mother. I was you, and you were me. There was no distance to cross, no otherness to speak of. It was our version of Eden, our own little paradise. You know, maybe the proverbial apple that wasn't plucked from a tree, it was extracted from the ground. Look at me. I wish you would look at me simply without guilt or shame. I may be sick. I may be oozing thick, black blood. But I am not angry. I know you. For billions of years, I grew you in my womb. You are made of me. You, my little piece of eternity, my little miracle. I know you are not ill-intentioned. I know you are not oblivious. I know you are not mean. You care. You want the best. You love. Yes, you do. Maybe imperfectly, but you love. The past is behind us. Let it go. And the future is forever hidden in the double helix of a cell. But now is here. Now is us. Now is our time for forgiving what has been done, for rediscovering what has been lost, for healing what has been hurt. Now is our chance to bridge the distance again and reclaim the Eden that was. The Eden that was before you called me mother. Look at me. Please. If you look at me, I know everything will be okay.